guys, last week we drew our dinosaurs, so this week we will be coloring them. If you look at the screen, this was our story that we watched last time called We Don't Eat Our Classmates with Penelope Rex in it. So I drew this with you guys in our last video, and it was a girl, but you could have made it a boy by just skipping the eyelashes and making your eyebrows bigger and fuzzier. So if you look over here, you can probably tell that I've already finished coloring it, and I added a background with a big old volcano and the sun and some clouds up in the sky. So lots and lots of extra details, and hopefully you already know that Miss Mobley loves details. So make sure that you are adding some extra stuff to make it more exciting, because the more stuff, it makes it more exciting. So let me go ahead and move this. What I'm going to show you today is the boy one that I did last time, or I did last week, and we're going to color it today. So if you are here in class, we will be using colored pencils. If you're at home and you don't have colored pencils, you can still use crayons. That is perfectly okay. But I would like to see you trying to mix some colors. So one of the cool things about colored pencils is you can blend together. So I used a green at the start for her skin here, and then you can probably see there's a bit of yellow mixed in. So I mixed in just a little bit of yellow after I finished coloring it green. So that's one thing you can do. For her lips, I put a little bit of red on them to make it look hopefully like a little bit of lipstick or chapstick. And then I got a little bit darker around her eyes. So lots and lots of other things that I added, especially in the lava over here. I did a lot of mixing with reds, yellows, and oranges. So let's go ahead and move on to this one. I think I'm going to make the boy, maybe I'll do oranges and browns. I think that could look good. Maybe we'll do brown out here and orange in here. And then I'm trying to think of what to do for the spots. So I do want to make sure that when you're coloring this, that you're using a lot of different colors. So we had this big stripe down the front of our dinosaur for their markings. So I don't want all of this to be the same color. You need to pick at least 2 different colors to be using for coloring your dinosaur. So on this one, I used greens and purples mostly, though I did use a little bit of pinks as well, because I wanted to have something else. So let's go ahead and get our colored pencil. Remember, when you are coloring, to try your best to stay inside the lines. If you've got some pencil marks, you can probably take your eraser and kind of erase them out before you start coloring, because that helps to clean it up some. So I'm going to go ahead and start out here. And when you are coloring, every mark you put down is basically going to be a line. Here, let me see if I can zoom in some. There we go. So each mark is going to be a line, but you want to make sure that you're keeping those lines close together. I want to see coloring like this, where you're filling it all in. I don't want to see coloring like this, because that's going to leave a lot of space empty, and it's just going to end up making more work for yourself, because I'm going to ask you to go back over it. So make sure you're coloring, keeping those lines close together. And if you do end up doing it like this, when I ask you to go back and do it again, you're just going to have to go right over the top of it again. So keeping your pencil, each mark close together as you're coloring is going to give you a lot better coloring. I'm also trying to just go up and down. So sticking to one direction that you are coloring will also make it look a lot better. So make sure you don't go over the top of everything. Got a lot of kindergartners and some first graders too that they're just coloring right over the top of the eye. This part of the eye is white, and then we would color this. So you need to make sure that you're not coloring your whole eye brown, because that's not how that is supposed to look. When you do things like that, that tells me you aren't paying attention and you're scribble scrabbling and you're rushing because you just want to get it done, and that's not going to make good art. We're trying to make beautiful art, not scribble scrabbly messes. So it will take some time, but you have the whole class period. So your art class is about 50 minutes long, maybe a little less when, you know, Miss Mobley gets to talking and getting things passed out. But my kiddos at home, you should definitely have like at least 45 minutes that you're spending on this. And some people don't seem to be doing that. So the more time you spend, the better it's going to look. You should already know I don't expect it to be perfect. I just want to see that you're doing your best. So I'm going to sharpen my pencil. If you're at school and you need a color pencil sharpened, you can just bring it up to me and I'll sharpen it for you. Can't really help you though if you're at home. Again, you could still do this with crayons. That is okay. Just make sure you're not pressing super hard. Even when you're coloring with colored pencils, you do not have to press super hard. I have some people that are coloring pressing hard like this. That is not, I would never do that. That is not going to look good, and it's going to ruin and waste a lot of colored pencils. So just pressing lightly is perfectly okay. And if you need it to get darker, you can just go back over it with another layer. So make sure you're not pressing this hard, because that's just going to break the pencil. It breaks your pencil, it's wasteful, and it doesn't look good. So not really any good parts on that. So be nice to your supplies, or be nice to my supplies if you're here at school. Let's see. I'm just going to make that all orange, and I'll get over here and get this arm. So I'll be almost done with the brown. I'm trying to think of another color I could use. I think I'm going to use orange on this area. If you end up needing a gray, you can always use your regular pencil. So a lot of students have been forgetting about their regular pencils. So that is definitely something you can do for a gray color. Let's go ahead and get some orange. Oh, that's going to look cool. I like that. That was a good idea. So you can use whatever colors you want. On my girl one, I did mostly purples and greens. On the boy one, I'm doing browns and oranges. You could pick two of your favorite colors and try those. That would be cool to see. Oops, that's the strap. So see, even Miss Mobley makes mistakes. So I'll just color over that and hopefully I'll be able to hide it. But if I can't hide it, it's not the end of the world. It'll be okay. Now, if you're not coloring nicely, going this fast isn't a good idea. So remember, keep your lines close together. Each of those strokes is a line. So keep them close together. Don't go over the eyebrow. Don't go over the eye. You're coloring in each of these cool shapes that we made for ourselves. All right. We got that done. Get my brown back out. Or should we make his tail orange? Actually, I think we're going to make his tail orange. I think that'll be a cool little switch. You could do the tail whatever color you wanted. And then maybe I'll make the spots on the tail brown. I'll switch them out. Let me zoom out some. So if you finish early on this, you can always think about extra stuff that you can add, extra details to make your art even better. So there's nothing in the background here. The only extra thing I have is like the shoe. I guess his hat is kind of extra, and the goldfish up here. So it probably wouldn't make sense to do a volcano unless he brought the goldfish to the volcano. I don't know. But it's up to you what you want to draw back there in the background. And if you have time, definitely think about some extra details that you can put back there. At the very least, you could put the sun, some clouds. My guess is this one he would be in the school. So I put the picture of the school from the story up on the screen because that's something that you could look at to try and draw from. What else should I do? I'm trying to think of another. Maybe I'll do some yellows and oranges for his spots. You could make this into a rainbow dinosaur. Lots and lots of different ideas that you can think up. Just use your imagination, do your best. I can't wait to see how these come out at the end because I have been so excited by how the students at school are doing and you guys at home, the ones that I've seen have been amazing. So I hope that means that you've been enjoying this drawing because I sure had a blast doing this drawing. So I'm going to put a pattern back here. This kind of makes me think of Reese's Pieces with the yellows, oranges, and browns. I guess there's red too. Oh, maybe we could use some red. So yellow, orange, brown, red, yellow, orange. There we go. Maybe red. And orange. And yellow. Something else about these colors is they are warm colors. So that's called a color scheme, but we haven't really talked about that too much since we did our color wheel forever ago. I think I'm going to put them in some blue jeans. So I'm going to go ahead and use a, yes, this is blue. Got a little worried that was a purple for a second there. So just take your time and color it nicely. I'm probably going to stop after I finish the jeans here, but I would definitely want you to color in some of the eyes, the eyebrows, and the hat, and any of your extra details that you had time to draw. We are going to have a catch-up day. When is it going to be a catch-up day for you? I'll have to look at the calendar. But there is one coming up, so if you don't finish this or you've been absent or anything like that, there will be more time. So don't worry. And if you are doing a great job keeping up, then you're going to have a free day again here soon. All right, there we go. Okay, maybe we can color in the eyes. What color should I make the eyes? Maybe I'll use this light blue. I'll use this baby blue. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. You could add some other stuff in the background, just like I did with this one. So I put a volcano back there, some smoke coming out of it, the sun, a couple of clouds, and even some mountains back here. I don't know where she's going, but at least she's dressed up for the occasion. So we finished this one, and I did get this one most of the way done. So you just need to make sure that you color the rest of your things in your picture. And if you have time, definitely think about something else you could put back there. So if you looked at the picture from our story, they had the tables. You could even have a fallen over table, kids running, or just like the cubbies back here. Lots of ideas. Be as creative as you want, and I can't wait to see your beautiful art. So have fun finishing this, and I'll see you when we start our next project. Bye, guys.